2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all my children, it is with a somber heart that I welcome you back to Jabronis United, where we talk about all things of a wrestling nature. I am your de facto host, and not the eater of worlds, but certainly the eater of some foods. Ryan O'Regan, the real ordeal. With me on my side here is Sniper Kyle Krieger. And Dayveonne would be here, but he went to go see Equalizer 3 early. So if you check on Stream Punk Entertainment, we will have a 1 minute review of that movie, which thank God he saw it because I did not want to. I know. Like, let him take the bullet, literally and figuratively, on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, obviously, with the look here and what we're doing here, we first have to go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room, which is the passing of Mr. Wyndham Rotunda, aka Bray Wyatt, as he was known in the WWE. Obviously, we did have Dayveonne go ahead and post a reaction video once we heard about the news last week. And the unfortunate thing is the review happened to just come out like a day after we had done this show, a day after we had talked about Terry Funk. So it was, we felt it would be a bit much if all of us just went ahead and chimed in. So Day said his piece. This is our opportunity to go ahead and talk about it on our ends. And yeah,
It's rough.
it, honestly, the first thing that I thought once we heard about what happened, I'm like, this is Eddie Guerrero all over again, you know?
Feels that
It's
way.
almost like generational.
It's just, but it's like the 1-2 punch, right? Like the day after Terry Funk. It's rough. It really is.
It is, especially considering like a lot of fans knew of Terry Funk, but I wouldn't say a lot of modern fans have probably seen him wrestle. But Wyndham was literally somebody we were growing up with. Like we saw him in his NXT days, back when he was Husky Harris, part of that little faction that was trying to come up, the Nexus.
Mm-hmm.
Back when look at how young and fresh faced he is.
Oh, he's so cute. Little baby
And then
face.
obviously when he first started with the Wyatt family, old granddad with the the fine fashion sense, I do have to say. But yeah, definitely like that kind of cultish mentality.
Mm-hmm. Good
And then
stuff.
obviously we went
Yeah. It. Uh, the
Happy
arrival. The
Time,
arrival was. It was something. It really was.
and then when he went a little bit creepier,
Yep.
like I almost hate to say it, but it's kind of like a Faces of Foley sort of thing. It's like
Kinda. Yeah.
they all were Bray Wyatt, but they were just so many different aspects of Bray Wyatt.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I think that's what really got to people, the fact that we had this guy who was just so creative with his personality and with his personas, multiple, to the fact that we never really knew what we were going to get. Whereas other people, they play up their wrestling persona where it's like, okay, well, this one's just a bit of a dick, and this one's just he's a little nicer to everybody. But no, with Bray, you really had no idea which way he was going.
Mm-hmm. But that's but it was fantastic for his character. It kept things different. Like it like modern day WWE doesn't really have too many I guess you could say supernatural style heroes,
Mm,
or not heroes, but supernatural style gimmicks, supernatural style wrestlers, is always it's like very much drowned out by just stereotypical "grr, I'm strong" type characters, and Bray Wyatt was something different. It's the same reason why I loved the Matt Hardy Broken Universe,
mhm,
because it was something different. It stood out because it was different, and it was, in my opinion, done very well for the most part. Yeah, some of the matches might have flopped, like the one against Randy Orton. It got silly due to the absurd production that they tried to pull off. And yes, some things were flops, but other things I think went really well. Like when Hardy faced off against Wyatt, I thought that was fantastic. I thought that that was done extremely well.
mm.
But it's like it really, yeah, this one hit hard.
Well, yeah, like you said, I mean, it wasn't that his tenure in WWE didn't come with some amount of controversy.
Yeah.
Obviously, um, some of the gimmick stuff didn't necessarily work, like when he got burned, or maybe half the stuff
Mm.
with Alexa Bliss and
Hmm.
her going a little twisted.
I
And don't even get me started on that Hell in a Cell match with Seth.
Yeah, or the one with Finn Balor. But it's like,
Oh no, the match with Finn Balor that we didn't get, where he was going to be dressed up as a pumpkin, and Bray Wyatt was going to be Sister Abigail.
yeah,
That promo was that, that's the only time I will say thank God for COVID. But
catch a fly.
yeah, there's just the fact that they even tried some of these ideas. Because
Yeah,
let's face it,
it
yeah,
was
when you
something
talk about like
different.
yeah, when you talk about this sort of stuff, there are very few people that have been able to pull it off in wrestling,
Hmm.
let alone in WWE. I mean, as long as you had the Undertaker, you really didn't have to worry about that. But Bray was apparently like the heir apparent to that. Like, even though other people may have retired Taker, we saw when he had that face to face with him in the ring, and we saw Taker just whisper in Bray's ear. It's like that was it. That was the moment. That was that passing of the torch that we had been waiting for. And now it's like it's tough for everybody. It's tough for his family, for JoJo, for the kids,
That's
for
rough too.
his brother Bo. Who
Hmm.
knows when he's going to be coming back to the company?
Yep. Yeah, it's the Uncle Howdy character. It popped up for Bray Wyatt, and then he got sick, and it's rough. Yeah, he absolutely was a one of a kind character. It it's sad it is, yeah. I'm sorry. It's like I have a hard time talking because this one hit harder than Terry Funk, because it's like I love, as much as I love Funk, Wyatt is a lot more recent. It hits it he passed in his prime,
Yeah,
or
didn't
near
even hit
prime.
40
It's
yet. He was
Yeah,
36,
he wasn't that old.
heart attack. Like,
Being 37 myself, it's like, uh,
but that's why I say it almost hit me
mhm,
like Eddie Guerrero. It's like Eddie Guerrero was probably in, I would say, his prime. Like, he had really just gotten to the point where he was like a champion. He had pretty much done as well of a a character turn as she could have. The
mhm,
stuff that he did with Ray was phenomenal.
mhm.
And then yeah, just one day didn't wake up in his hotel room.
Yep.
And I feel like you get one of these every generation. Like, before
Feels
this,
like
there
it.
was Eddie. Before Eddie, there was, I guess you'd say, Owen Hart, which was a tragedy.
Mhm.
It's really just those ones that come out of nowhere. And hopefully, um, yeah, I know it was definitely Waylon Mercy a bit.
Mhm. Wow. There's a callback.
Well, I mean, that's definitely what he was sampling with
Mhm.
the cult mentality.
Yeah, the swamp cult.
Swamp.
I
Yeah,
That was
once all
awesome.
the swamp people had like gone out of like normal television, like you weren't watching like Gator people or anything like that.
Mhm.
And yeah, and I felt Eddie
Mhm.
when they had that
Owen happened on
Three Doors
TV.
Down tribute and Here Without You and everything. I think I actually saw someone do one with Bray, and I was like, ooh.
Mhm.
And i- in general, I would just say that as far as Kyle and myself can say, um, our hearts are with the family and friends of Wyndham Rotunda, and hopefully, the family will be able to be taken care of.
Mhm.
I know that WWE had something going on where it's like if you purchased any of his merch, all the proceeds would go to JoJo and the kids. So if you are thinking of doing anything to help, that's probably the easiest way. I'm
Mhm.
sure there are other people that have things set up for the family so that this way they can make it through. But I'm hoping that she gets taken care of in the same way that
Yeah.
Vicky was taken care of
Mhm.
back when Eddie died.
Absolutely.
Mm. I mean, if anything, I wouldn't be against her coming back and doing a ring announcing. But you know,
Mm.
and yeah, you're doing your Firefly thing there, I guess.
Mhm.
Okay, I was wondering if you were like trying to get my attention for something, but I wasn't sure. But so yeah,
N No, I'm just knocking out the white balance of my camera, that's all. But yeah, absolutely. If 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 there's a time to get some Wyatt merchandise, now is the time because you are helping the family out.
exactly. All right, so let's try to move on to some. I don't want to say like happier news like that, but
Better
um,
news.
certainly while there were many tributes from the WWE, as you would expect, whether it was on SmackDown or on Raw, people wearing armbands, people using his catchphrases, the lantern that you
Harper too.
saw,
Yeah.
yeah, and for Luke Harper, Brody Lee, Brody
Mhm.
King, Brody, no
Brody
Lee,
Lee.
yeah, King is the one that's working.
Yeah.
Um, AEW also did their fair share of callings to Bray Wyatt, especially
Mhm.
when it came to like I guess the House of Black, which is the closest thing to it. And yeah, let's just talk about AEW All In since we were talking so much about like the predictions and such for it because they had a phenomenal time. Um, First and foremost, I'd say it was a packed show. Like obviously there was a lot of things going on here. This stole the show, obviously,
Mhm.
as
Absolutely.
far as anyone's concerned.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I am calling it the hug heard round the world.
Yeah. Uh Image isn't
I
coming through.
mean, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, when was the last time you had a wrestling pay per view end on not just a good note or a happy note, but a heartwarming note? I mean, yeah, MJF keeps the belt. They basically ran the match two times, um, and it was as clean of a win as you could have done, man. You know,
Mhm.
He tried to compensate him with the fact that they won the Ring of Honor tag belts earlier in the night.
Mhm.
That wasn't enough. But God, when they embraced after he just dropped the belt and wasn't like, "I'm not gonna hit you, Max.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna do it."
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
God, I felt so. It may have been the alcohol I was drinking at the time, but boy, I felt so good.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's one of those things where it's just. I know a lot of people will say that AEW is trying to be like WWE with like the long form storytelling. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying that you have to have a long form story going on.
Absolutely.
This isn't the bloodline, sure, but you know what?
It honestly, WWE needs to take notes on how this storyline is going. Like, this is how you do a title belt defense. This is how you write. This is how you book. This is how you write a main event, like a long-term storytelling match. It's like, yeah, MJF retains, but the fans can still go home satisfied, like they watched something good, like they watched something enjoyable. It didn't end in a LOL Reigns wins again. It's like
Like,
it was
it was
done
pure.
well.
Yes. You know, even though the person who won may not have been the choice of a lot of people, you still had the heart and the story that happened afterwards,
Mm-hmm.
which I think compensates. And the fact that this match went on twice, longer than expected. They tried to do the double countout thing again, which thank God they didn't stick with. But the fact
They
that they
swerved.
called
That
back to
was a
that
good swerve. I
5 more
that.
minutes. Oh,
That was a great swerve.
mm.
It's like, yes, but that's the thing. It's like, okay, if they're gonna do a false finish, have the crappy result be the false finish, not the one that gets everyone's friggin' hopes up, not the one that
Right.
gets that big pop, and then say, "Oops, nope, wrong finish." Up, LOL, Reigns wins. Haha.
Speaking of
No.
big pops, I mean, I hate to say that Dave was right, but Dave was right about this.
So was I.
Yeah, so were you. All right. Well, I, I get why they did it. I understand. Does it feel like a cheap pop? Maybe.
Eh,
I can only imagine how long Soraya is going to hold on to that belt.
mm,
It seems like the focus more tonight has been what you calls it, Tony with her mental breakdown of I can't
yes.
trust anybody.
That is true. That is certainly true. But it's also, unlike WWE, the hometown person actually gets a win. What a concept!
Well, even when you listen to the media scrum for that night, Tony was saying how much he would have liked to have had more of the hometown heroes. He would have loved to have had Pac. He would have loved to have had
Yeah.
Jamie Hayter.
Well, they had
And
Osprey and
God willing, everything
yes,
works out next year.
yes. Well, they had
Um,
they have Osprey. They had him popping in there.
yeah, but he's still more like New Japan more so than he is AEW.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess. But still, he could be classified as a hometown person. I wouldn't say Aussie Open, but yeah, it's like she was. But you know what? It's like this is like the first event. You want the fans to get that hometown pop. You want to have like fan satisfaction. Like you want them to come back next year.
Yes.
Like
Which hopefully they're doing some sort of like discount. If you were here last year, you get like 15% off your next ticket.
yeah, absolutely. But it's like, you know what? This one, yeah, no, this one felt this was a good result.
Now, my personal.
Family coming in hit or miss, but you know what? No,
Oh yeah, the
I'm
family
glad.
coming in. This was nice. This was
Yep.
heartwarming, but this made more sense. I
Yes,
get that.
yeah, but and you know what?
Now this, on the other hand, this was all for me.
uh,
The biggest scissoring ever in wrestling.
oh god,
Whoo! Yeah, I
the
like
multiple
that.
entendre. But yeah, so it's like honestly, this match in particular, I thought the result was great, but I think they did they had the finish on the wrong sequence. But of all the complaints, that's like a minimal one. Like I think the finish should have been the series of famousers or famoussers.
Yes, yes, I get
It's
that.
like I think that was the chef's kiss finish. But granted, yeah, the finish was still all right. Finish was fine, good. You got the pop. You got the post match celebration. Fantastic. You had Billy Gunn being a title holder for a little bit, at least a little bit. That's also really good. But it's like, you could have put the ribbon on it with the triple famous or finish with Billy Gunn getting the pin. I think that would have been perfect. But
Well, semantics aside,
agree with me or not?
yeah.
Here, I love to hear it.
No, I
Love to hear
mean,
your
yeah,
thoughts in the
I was
comments.
calling this. I was calling this for so long. I was
Yep.
like, yes, you lost the tag titles. Now go after the trios.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I mean, I think this feels like the most sentimental because just for Jabronis United, us talking here, we started a lot of our stuff with the whole "Hey, Billy Gunn put his boots in the ring."
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
That
That
really
was an
kicked us
earlier
off as
show.
far as like a show is concerned. Wasn't the first episode,
No,
but it
it
was
was
the
like, yeah, it
second.
was like second or third, but
So seeing this story come to fruition,
mm-hmm.
and yeah, even if he's gonna be badass Billy Gunn for a little bit, I am not upset about that. I want to see the trios go on, and the fact that House of Black handed it over to them
Yes.
proper,
That was nice.
the show of
Mm-hmm.
respect.
It
Ah,
shows a healthy division. And hopefully
yes.
we get to see more trios get involved. Because right now it's
Oh,
mainly House of Black, but it's like
but
there could
storyline
be more.
wise, I mean, you
Yes.
can
Oh yeah.
have other
No,
people come up.
this was a good storyline conclusion, or at least of
Yeah.
that. But maybe we'll see a rematch. Who knows? But
No, I mean,
this was another feel good moment.
I'll be happy to see Bullet Club Gold with maybe one of the guns,
Hmm.
or
Okay.
maybe both guns with maybe Jay White or something like that.
Yeah.
Especially now that Billy's holding it,
Hmm. Oh
because
yeah,
they'll be
definitely.
bitter that Daddy has a belt.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and yeah, that the Jeff's comment, hoping that was for a fresh gimmick. That could certainly. Oh God, Black ass Billy Gunn. Oh God, House of Black Billy Gunn. Oh jeez, I'm sure that would go
That
over well.
is that. Is, can we say that? I don't know. That seems a uh hmm. I mean, I
Hmm.
know he's gotten tanner over the years, but damn.
Not that tan.
Um,
He's about as well. At least he's not. At least he's not as pink as his pants.
no, no, no.
Pink
He
ass Billy
changed that
Gunn.
up. Um, but even with everything and all out, there is still another elephant in the room that has to be talked about.
Oh yes,
Not so much
the
the
match
match.
itself was great. That
Yeah, it
was
was a
like
great opener,
every freaking match of this card was great in my opinion.
but
Oh,
I know
the
how Jeff
outside of
feels
ring.
about this.
Yeah.
Um, and hold on, let me bring it back up again
Yeah.
because
Sounds about right.
yeah, we can show it. I just can't say it.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
oh,
It's
and he
like
put it down two more times anyway, so it's not like I had to do much. So thank you, Jeff.
yep. But
But yeah, with as good as the match was, the controversy around CM Punk and the comings and goings of that evening for him and for AEW again overshadowed what was pretty much the biggest night in wrestling.
yeah,
Now,
like
I wasn't saying it's as bad as Brawl Out last year
no.
because I still say the pay per view won out overall. But the fact that here we are like a year later and we're dealing with still more stuff. And this time on a much smaller scale. This isn't him messing around with like the executive vice presidents of the company. This is him messing around with Luke Perry's son over some broken glass and some comments. It's kind of like
Yeah.
it's kind of like a demeaning shot downwards for him.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that it's like Punk wasn't necessarily in the wrong on this, but it's like
But he still should have been like taking the higher road,
yeah, absolutely. And
especially after
yeah,
they already talked to each other.
yes. And yeah, and not only that, it's like yeah, Jack Perry shouldn't have done what he did, but neither should have Punk. This whole situation on the outside really is no one wins. No one
Right.
wins this confrontation. It's like
Never more so than coming up to All Out because as
mhm.
of right now, these two gentlemen, someone who opened up the last weekend's pay per view, and someone who had the opening match for the show in the 0 hour. Both of these men are currently suspended pending investigation
Yes.
going into AEW All Out, which is this Sunday in Chicago.
Fun day, fun day, fun day. Like they
So,
could have done something with this, but not with this much backstage animosity and heat.
like, here's the thing. Regardless of whether or not Jack Perry started it with his words or if Punk threw the first punch, should they be suspended or should they be reprimanded in some way? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can you do a Chicago pay per view without Punk? Because this will be the
Yeah,
first
that
big one that
hurts.
they do without him because he was there last
Awful
year.
timing. Awful timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine that you can do things without Perry because Perry
Yes.
lost the FTW belt,
Yeah.
put Hook
Yeah.
on for a match.
Yeah. He did. Yeah.
No,
He did the whole character change, and then he loses the belt less than a month later.
yeah, he,
Woo.
he he broke his
Great.
real glass. He got shredded up for it, and now look at where he is now because he had to be a little cocky. I understand,
Yeah.
but the fact that Punk was going and arguing with Tony Khan earlier in that day, before any issues with Perry, before even his match with Joe, he was arguing with Tony, saying, I quit, I hate this place, all that sort of stuff. I guess because of animosity, plus he had to schlep through London on his
Yeah. I
own.
was
No
gonna
one
say.
picked him
Yeah.
up. But then again, apparently, no one was being picked up.
Yeah.
It
No one
was
picked
just
him up, and that did not sit well with him. And you know what? I can kind of understand that. It's like your biggest show of the year, and you want all your wrestlers to get there on time and whatnot.
right. But
You have
according to
enough
news
money, you
sources,
can send a
apparently,
car.
yeah, but AEW wasn't doing that for anybody, though.
It,
That's the thing.
but that's the thing.
Everyone had to
They
find their
should
own
have
way
been
to the
doing
ring.
it for everybody, especially with the amount
No,
of
they
money that
shouldn't have
this
been. But
show
it's not
made.
like Punk was iced out.
Yeah. No, no, he wasn't. He wasn't singled out with that. But like that I think is a issue with Tony Khan, and it's like for your main show in a different country, send a freaking car. You have the money.
Well, especially in a foreign country.
Exactly. So
Like, I
yeah,
can
no,
understand
that's a
that.
goof on Tony Khan. That's indie shit. Pardon my French.
Right. And obviously, Tony was trying to do his best press face during the media scrum
Mm-hmm.
afterwards and everything. You could see it in some of his answers. No one talked to him about Punk directly, but um,
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, if Punk said he wants to quit and he wants to leave, let him.
At this point, yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's like
it's not like
y-
AEW
mhm.
is going to be detrimental without him.
They will
But
survive without him. Sure, he's at an absolute draw. He is still a draw, whether you
right,
love him or hate him. But he is a lightning rod of behind the scenes drama. Like it's diva level that hasn't been seen since like Attitude Era WWE, like pre-Attitude Era WWE.
and the problem is, I can't even necessarily say that all of it is his fault. There
Not
are
all of it,
probably
no,
people there
not all of it,
that are
but
just
enough
not
of it.
happy with him being there and are going to be
Mhm.
having animosity and setting up stuff and trying to make him look bad.
Yeah,
There isn't a doubt. Like the whole thing that we heard over the weekend about him and Miro.
yeah.
Apparently, we're going to have a fight, or Punk
It's
was
like
like,
why are
you
you
want to
picking
take it to the
fights with
ring.
him?
Yeah, that was a joke.
Yeah.
That was never going to happen. There
Mhm.
was no Punk versus
Yeah.
Miro. They were just ribbing.
Exactly.
But
But
but the news but someone will go ahead and puts it like, "Oh, yeah, Punk was going to fight Miro." It's like, "No, they weren't." But because it's
it's
Punk,
stirring the pot.
it
It's stirring the
sounds
pot.
legit. Yeah.
It's
Too many cooks stirring the
yeah.
pot. That
It's
AEW is a damn kitchen.
absolutely. It's like yeah. I get that. It's not all Punk's fault. I understand that. But enough of it is. It's like if anyone
Gosh,
else
rightly so.
caused this much drama, whether it's like yeah, disregarding the stuff that's not his fault. If anyone cause this much drama in really any company right now, they would be gone. They would be future endeavored. It's like,
Yeah,
and
say
yeah,
what you will about WWE, but Vince is quick to throw out the firing finger
hmm
whenever it becomes necessary.
absolutely, absolutely. And checking out Chris's comment, yeah, it's like HBK level backstage drama. It's ridiculous. And like I said, yeah, it's not all his fault, but enough of it is. And now it's like anything that pops up, as you mentioned with the thing with Miro, it's gonna be taken the wrong way, and now people are gonna be trying to like pick fights with him. It's like he's a
Kyle,
lightning rod.
Kyle, you want to fight? You want to fight?
Don't add this to the dirt sheets. Goodness,
Tell me when I'm telling
we
lies.
don't need we don't need no more drama. We don't need no more. Don't make me hit you with a firefly. Away, shoo.
Look, this is the only good Punk I have left. All right, come on.
And it's like the match with Samoa Joe was still fantastic. Like they
Yeah,
have a good match to end his time in AEW on, absolutely, with the real world title. Like
yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do with
he
that if
could
they
pull an
do anything with it.
Alundra Blaze. I don't care. But it's
But I mean, I did like the idea of like
oh yeah,
Collision
it's a
having its
great
own
gimmick.
title.
It's a great gimmick
Yeah,
and storyline going with it. Absolutely. But it's like, when do you pull the plug? How much more drama, how much more backstage crap before people start avoiding your company because of it? Like right now it hasn't reached that point yet, but it's certainly pushing it. And it's rough. And well, yeah, he's not, yeah, like take the match with Samoa Joe. Yeah, it's not like a 5-star match or a 6-star match or whatever, however many
but it was a
stars
great
matches,
opener.
but it was still a really good match. Like, and it had a good match, decent build, and a good finish. And the spots in the match were good. You ran the gamut of spots that people were looking for and a little bit more. It was a good match. He still puts on good matches. Maybe not 5-star, maybe not 10-star or whatever, however many stars. He still puts on good matches regardless of opponent, in my opinion. But it's just too much backstage nonsense.
So what's the over under that this investigation is going to clear up in time, and they try to book Punk
Not
for
gonna happen.
something on Sunday via Collision?
Not gonna happen.
No, do you think it's completely off?
I think that's off, and that is a damn shame. That is a damn shame.
It will be for the Chicago fans because let's face it, if Punk's not there, those fans are going to do their best to hijack that show to a degree.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? Let them. That'll add some entertainment value. I think that's great. I hope the fans do. I hope the fans do. Because I think that will cause a little bit of chaos and we'll certainly get some botchamania moments. But yeah, it's like if the fans want to do that, that's fine. As long as they're not like throwing infinite chairs in the ring, great.
Yeah, don't treat him like those Oakland A people. You know, it's like
Yeah, no sell the company Tony Khan. But I still think, but like I said, yeah, he's still a draw, for good or for bad. But the backstage stuff
or to
needs
some
to
people
stop.
like Jeff, he's the most
No,
overrated.
that he's perfectly welcome to his thoughts.
Wow.
Absolutely. It's like and you know what? I can see that point of view too. It's like, yeah, he's not the CM Punk of old, but he still knows how to work
He's
a
just
mic.
full CM Punk.
Yeah, and he is a lightning rod for drama, but he's still a ridiculous draw, for good or for bad. But like I said, how if he's a draw, let any of the drama and the draw stay within the ropes. Stay within the ring. Don't cause all this backstage nonsense that's going to affect other things. That's going to affect everyone else on the roster because he's being such a drama queen, or whether or not people are trying to start fights with him. It's how much is too much. Like I said, how much is too much?
Wow. Oh, I did not expect that. Okay, now we definitely need to go ahead and get into Dynamite Aftermath. Because there is a lot of ramifications coming in order to make sure that All Out is successful.
Mm-hmm.
And I am seeing some matches being added to the card that was already talked about as far as after All In had ended. They had already planned a few things. But we are getting Samoa Joe versus Shane Taylor for the Ring of Honor World
Joe,
TV
Joe,
Championship.
Joe, Joe.
That is going to be brutal.
I hope so. And you know what? That will be a great match.
Oh my god, that is oof.
That is going to
It
be a
is
great
it's
match.
big oof. It's big oof.
Big oof.
Um
Big oof.
as well as we will be seeing apparently a
Joe, 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 Joe.
there's going to be a battle royal this coming Friday on Rampage. And that battle royal is going to be for tag teams. The winner of that battle royal will face Adam Cole and MJF for their Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship that they just won last weekend. So, any guess as to who that could possibly be?
I got no clue.
I don't know because we're already seeing a lot of tag teams that are going to be in the mix as of late. Apparently, the Sex Gods reformed. There's going to be a
Sex.
4-on-4 going on for contendership with the tag team championships. Looks like Bullet Club Gold is going to be versus FTR
Mm-hmm.
and the Young Bucks.
That
We'll
should
see
be
if
a
they
good
get
match.
along there.
That should be a good match. Young Butt spot monkeying or not. That should be
Right.
a very good match.
Um, but on top of the card that we already have, I mean, I want to say that even without Punk, this card is stacked.
Absolutely. That's the thing.
I think that can
AEW
easily be said.
has a good enough roster that you don't necessarily need him. He's certainly a draw, yes, and especially in Chicago, but they could still get a draw without him.
Now, will it be happy enough if we get just like a showing from Punk, and maybe if he is still around, you set him up
You'll
for
probably get like
something?
a package or something, or just you'll
Yeah.
probably get a video maybe. But I don't think if he is there, I don't think it may be a work. They may try. That's the other angle. They may be trying to make it a work.
Oh, I don't think at this point. No, don't
It's a
go
long
don't go that
game,
deep into it,
playing the
man.
long game. But yeah, so
No, no long
but
game,
nah,
no long game.
going back to the results on the incoming card. It's I am looking forward to a bunch of matches on this card. Like yeah, like the 8-man tag is going to be good. That one I think is probably going to be. I hope it's going to be the match of the night, personally, because it's like I love tag matches, love them because it gets a lot of people involved, and no matter where you look, there should be something happening, not just in the ring. You'll see stuff outside the ring. You'll see stuff on the ropes. Hell, you might even get all 8 people in the ring at once for a scrum. Who knows? But there's always stuff going on in an 8-person tag match. So I am
Yeah,
looking
especially
forward to
when you
that
think about the quality of talent. You have two
one.
teams that just put on like a classic of a match, probably a match that maybe went a little bit too long, just last weekend, and now you're bringing in not only the Guns, but
Mm-hmm.
two of possibly the most worldly, universally hated men in Jay White and
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
what was his the former CJ Parker, Juice Robinson.
Yeah.
Still, some people don't realize that that's CJ Parker
Mm-hmm.
with his little "Save the Earth" sign and everything.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But it's that should definitely be a good match. Another match I'm really looking forward to now, especially with the finish of Dynamite tonight. Orange Cassidy versus Penta, or Orange Cassidy versus John Moxley.
Yes, he's finally getting his hands on Moxley.
About time, and it's after what I said about tag matches, I do kind of want to see Moxley in like a one-on-one as well. For something. For something. That way it gives Blackpool Combat Club some clout, cuz they've been on a bit of a losing streak lately. Even though they keep showing up on the TV shows causing some havoc, they're like they still keep losing the big matches, which is
Right.
rough. And it's like they need a push. They need to get a
And
win.
and that's the thing. Like, if you're going to go ahead and have these four teams all battling it out,
Mhm.
and you've already had like the Young Bucks lose once
Mhm.
last weekend, um, I almost hate to say it, but it makes sense to let Bullet Club Gold win,
Mhm.
so that this way FTR gets like a little extra rivalry. Now, FTR and Bullet Club Gold, they've been doing some great things on Collision.
Yes.
But what if the Gun Club ends up becoming the team that they face
That would
next?
be cool. But though personally, I want the Gun Club to be involved in a trios match somehow against against Billy Gunn.
They will probably find a way to do
I
that, but
want to see
considering
that eventually.
the Gun Club was already like the upset team when they took it away from the Acclaimed,
Yes.
make them the upset team again.
Why not?
Like
Why not? I think it'll be a good angle.
the Bang Bang
Except
Gang.
this,
What
yeah,
that?
it's like, will history repeat itself?
Who knows, man? I
Hmm.
mean, that's the thing. It's like for as many people as we can say could easily go into the trios
Hmm.
tournaments and face off against the Acclaimed, there's just as many that can go ahead and face off against FTR at this point. We've been
Absolutely.
seeing the same old because those are the reliable hands. Those are the guys
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
can pull off the good matches. But
Hmm.
there's still plenty of other tag teams that you can bring up.
I just want to see. I want to see Broken Matt and Brother Nero again, but that's just me. But going on to
Wow.
the to another match on the card, we also got Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soho for the TBS title. So you know
Right.
what? I want Ruby Soho to win because we already had Soraya win. Now we'll get Ruby Soho with some gold. That way they'll
Oh, so
keep
you
building
want the
that faction up.
outsiders to be completely gold up.
Oh yeah.
And yet, you're also going to want Tony Storm to probably lose her shit, knowing that the other two have belts and she has nothing.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, it's like I'm also a Ruby Soho fan, so a little biased there. But it's I think that would be kind of good. It's like sometimes it's like you want the factions to have some power for at least a couple shows. So
That's true.
it's like that way at least that way that's how you push storylines along. That's how you can make it look pretty cool, or that's how you establish a faction as a powerhouse. Yeah, even if it's just for like 1 month. Like I think that's like 1 maybe 2 months to have like the consolidation of gold, and then maybe start having some titles bounce away here and there, cause some drama, cause some friction, get the storyline going, keep it up, keep it new, not the same old shit like Bloodline. But yeah, so I want Ruby Soho to take the win on this one. Do I think she will? Depends on how they want to write it.
I'm simply going to say no because here's the thing. We already have issues with them trying to book women's matches.
Yes.
If you get both prominent women's titles over into the same faction, you're basically bottlenecking the division.
That's what I'm saying for a short amount of time. I'm not saying have them hold it for over a year. No. Saying maybe for the gap between one, maybe two shows, so they can start establishing more people to start challenging for it, to maybe create the seeds of future storylines between all the others, because sometimes things grow when someone else when someone finally captures gold, then oh look, someone that you feuded with to get to that point now pops up again and causes some havoc.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, in the past few weeks, we've pretty much been seeing like the same women battling it out. Pretty much
Yeah.
the outsiders,
Mm-hmm.
Chris, Sky Blue. This tonight, we
Good
actually
camera
got
work on
some
Sky
faces
Blue,
that
by
we
the way.
haven't seen in a good while. We got Nyla Rose. We got Maria Shafir
We got we
with
we
her
got Sheeta. We still
barefoot
got
self.
Sheeta.
Yeah, you know, you had
Jade
like a
Cargill.
nice collection of faces that now, if you have belts on different brands, you can break them off and you can split them
Mm-hmm.
up into places. You have the potential to build up storylines that don't necessarily involve a belt.
Mm-hmm. True.
And still, we don't even have Jade Cargill yet.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it's like after Cargill got dethroned back in like May or so, we haven't really seen her.
No, so I mean, we're waiting for that to
And
come back.
Statlander was the one who broke that streak. So yeah, I don't. I now I'm thinking about it, I don't think Statlander will lose, but personally, I would like to see Soho get it.
I know. Soho is a good hand,
Ruby
and
Soho is
certainly with her,
horribly underutilized.
she is. I think that was a
I
complaint
think
that
she
you
is
also got with
easily one of
WWE.
the most talented women on that
Hmm.
roster
And
by a good margin.
who knows? Maybe they'll try to institute a tag division for the women's, or maybe they'll just try to use Athena a little bit more because she's been holding
Another
on to
one
that
who
Ring of Honor belt for God knows when.
another one who really needs to be utilized more. Absolutely.
They
It's like
have
they
her,
have
and
three
I
freaking
don't see
shows.
her on television.
Yeah.
Where's the Ring of Honor Women's Champion?
Yeah. Exactly. And it's like you have 3 shows to work on. Hell, bring back Dark. The YouTube shows were great. Especially with especially with the inane commentary. It's like AEW Dark was just like, here, let's try this. And I think
Well,
I
the
love
idea was Collision was supposed to be taking the place of that, but the fact of the matter is,
they're turning
you're
it
just
into like an
simply
actual
not having
show.
enough time for people to go through the paces on
Hmm.
just Collision.
Yeah. And it's like and Collision doesn't get as many views as say like Dynamite or what or what what the heck's the Monday one? Why am I blank?
Rampage.
Rampage, that's it. Thank you.
uh,
Words are tough. Words, Musukashi des.
uh, a couple of other matches. Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs. That
I
was
Yep, they had the contract
this
signing in
was
the pre-show.
last week.
I'm looking forward to that. But
That again, big beefy men slapping beef. It's like
and you need matches like that too. And you know what? I want Miro to get a push. I've been wanting Miro to get a push for a while.
well, he'll get it now
I
after all
hope
the
so.
Punk stuff.
I hope so. But yep. So it's like I'm hoping Miro gets a push.
Yeah,
Another
with that, it's going to be more of a question of whether or not QT Marshall gets involved in
Yes,
everything. Obviously,
absolutely. So we're probably going to see some shenanigans. So speaking of shenanigans, you have Kenny Omega versus Takashita.
yeah, Konosuke.
Mm-hmm.
That is a
That
match that I
was
think a lot of people would have liked to have seen last
Oh,
weekend.
absolutely. But and you kind of did, but then again, that match was used not as a storyline ender, but as a storyline advancer. So it's like, it was a big time match, absolutely. But it's setting the stage for the next match.
Right.
So
My only concern is that obviously, both of these men they had their match last weekend. Do you think they're going to be going ahead and pulling out like a non-stopper this Sunday? It's the same issue I have with Cassidy and Moxley. It's like
mm,
it's nice that we are getting these things that following up with the certain
yep.
storylines, but considering the matches that these people went through over in London, and now you're just going to put them on another big
The
stage in
timing was
Chicago,
interesting.
which is pretty much like one of the two mainstay homes of AEW, that and Florida.
Hmm.
Um, will they be able to perform to the capacity that is necessary, especially when you're going to have a show that has some people that didn't get to do anything last weekend,
That's what this show
and
is.
you're going to be missing out on one of your best draws with not having Punk there.
But yes and no. Yes, because he certainly is a ticket seller, but no, because now it allows more people on the card. It is a brutal schedule. It is Yeah, you're flying back over, but then again, they do have the time. They have the week to get themselves in order. Like like Dynamite tonight really didn't have too many big time matches. It was a lot of video packages. A lot of video packages and backstage segments. So a lot of that stuff was like there was probably some pre-recorded stuff for sure. But yeah, so it's all out feels like it's getting a lot more people on the card, yes, with a couple exceptions. So, but yeah, we're also gonna, speaking of people that had matches out in England, Luchasaurus versus Darby Allin for the TNT title.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
which I feel like
Evil Luchasaurus.
I hate to say it, that really feels like the throwaway
It
match out of
does.
all
It
of these.
really does. It kind of,
When you look at the rest of these matches
yeah,
and the story behind them and everything, this is like this should go no more than 7 minutes.
yeah. And honestly, I think that Luchasaurus should squish him. But then
You
again,
want him to squish Darby?
well, I wouldn't say like have a squash match, but show the power of a Luchasaurus. But then again, Allen does have Sting in his corner. While who does Luchasaurus have?
Christian Cage.
Yes, and Christian Cage just lost last week.
Yes, but Christian Cage,
He
I think
wasn't
at
in the
this point
coffin,
is
no.
less of a wrestler
Mhm.
and more of a manager.
Yes, but he
So
was
if you
still
need
involved.
something done underhanded,
Yes.
that's what the manager's for.
So then again, so yeah, so I think Luchasaurus is going to win, but I think there's going to be some, of course, shenanigans
Right.
between Christian Cage or AR Fox.
Oh, you think they're bringing the AR Fox angle in?
Because they did not bring him in at All In, so, which that shocked me. I thought he'd be involved in that match somehow.
But it also felt appropriate in a
But
sense. Because I mean,
yeah,
if you brought in
no.
AR Fox, that would almost take away from like the actual match itself. Obviously, they brought in Luchasaurus during that match with the
I was
whole
gonna say,
"Hey,
yeah,
let me
they
stop
already
Nick
had
Wayne from
interference.
doing
They
anything."
had interference all. They had interference from their corner. They had interference from Luchasaurus. They could have had
Right, from
interference
the
with AR
people that
Fox in
matter.
it as well. Why not?
Yeah, if
Get them all
anything,
involved.
Swerve probably had the least amount of help.
Hell, you could have had AR Fox pop out of the coffin for God's sakes.
That would have been funny,
That
yes.
would have been funny. But
Although considering what they did to that coffin, I would hate for him to have been like,
well, they opened the coffin earlier
I
before the
know,
match,
but
so that's when he was going to
imagine if
pop
they
out.
didn't.
Like, hello.
Imagine if they were just using it.
Yes. Oh, no, some of those spots look like it was like when Darby Allin did the coffin drop onto it. I cringed. I was like, oh, that looked like it hurt.
Oh,
Because
what that
it's
man
like
does.
because the coffin it doesn't have a lot of surface area, and it's curved, so you're just gonna go. It's like,
He is going to have
oh,
sciatica problems one day.
one day, yes,
One day.
maybe not now, but he's gonna have to see a chiropractor after that match. I hope he
He's
did.
going to have more issues than Sting does now.
Mayhaps, maybe, but yeah.
But
So it's
funny enough, just to compound the brutal scheduling of wrestling that is going on here,
mhm.
since we have talked a great deal about AEW, let us not forget that there is also going to be a WWE pay per view
There
event
is. How about that?
happening this weekend in Payback.
It's been a
And that's going
crazy
to be
2 weeks
this
of wrestling.
Saturday.
It's been a crazy 2 weeks of wrestling. And also, by the way, you'll probably hear some predictions on the site or whatnot. Because don't get me wrong, we did we did have predictions for All In. We are still tallying them up, but we're gonna reveal the results next time when Davion is here.
I'm going to tell you
Right,
right now, I
right.
didn't win.
Premium live event.
I chose so poorly. Oh my god.
Mhm. But yeah, so let's go down this payback card, starting with Seth freaking Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the World Heavyweight title. We're just gonna go right to the big one right off the bat. So
I want Shinsuke to win so
so do
badly.
I. Though honestly, I think Rollins should have lost at SummerSlam. I still say that. I still say that Rollins absolutely should have lost at SummerSlam. But any match that gets Nakamura more involved, okay, I can be happy with, because I want him to be pushed a lot. I was gonna say like Ruby Soho, like Athena.
You have your favorites, yes.
Well, no, more of that. Nakamura is another one that I feel that is horrendously underutilized. Like, he should not be wallowing away on the mid card or in catering. It's like, but it's like, because Vince doesn't understand what he's saying. You're a mid card, good shit.
Yeah, that's some Vince type stuff right there. And it's not like they gave him like a manager or anything like they did with
Work.
Konosuke. You know, like some of those overseas talents, they will pair them up with somebody just so
Yeah.
they have not necessarily a manager, but almost a translator.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
We
not that it should matter.
need a Mr. Fuji or something like that.
Yes,
But it's like we need Nakamura should get a good manager. Hell, it's like you could go with the rock and roll theme. Get him a band, get him a music manager style. Get him a manager in the style of like a record producer.
I thought they were trying to do something like
So
that
did
when they
I.
teamed up with Rick Boogs.
Yeah, so did I. But yeah,
Because
that's
Boogs was
good
like
shit.
nice for introducing him and playing his theme song on the guitar and everything. It worked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then again, it's like in a normal world, in a non WWE world, Shinsuke Nakamura absolutely main eventer, without question. In WWE, he should be a main eventer, but he's never. But he doesn't seem to be booked that way, like until now at a Payback pay-per-view, which is a pay-per-view after the first one after a main show, which is probably going to be treated as such. We're probably not going to see too many title changes, and the fans are going to be going home saying, why the hell did I watch this?
Why did I spend the money on a ticket?
Mm-hmm. And
But I
WWE
will
has been
say,
on that streak lately. And
but I will say, his promo,
oh yeah,
oh, that was fire.
oh absolutely. But
Watch your
it
back. Oh my!
reinforces my point. He should be one of the main eventers. Should be, but isn't, because that's good shit.
Well, okay. Here's the thing: Nakamura has never held a big title, correct? The highest he ever went was probably U.S. or Intercontinental, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Intercontinental title. Yes. Yeah.
So,
NXT. Did he have the NXT title? I think so.
was he there long enough?
I'm gonna have to look that up because I should know this, but
I don't know if he ever did have it. If he had it, it was very quickly.
NXT Championship twice. Yep. So yeah, he did have it, and
Yeah,
he
but
was
then again, so
he
did
was
Finn
a
have it
Royal
twice
Rumble
too.
winner,
So yeah,
2018. He's won the tag championship once, and otherwise it's just been Intercontinental or US championship. But not his,
yeah.
and personally, I would say his biggest title is the NXT title. But like a lot of people that get called up from NXT who were title holders, they end up wallowing due to poor booking on the main card.
I would say,
And yes,
even
the In Your
if
House whatever of 2023, I like
Shinsuke,
it.
even if
Good
Shinsuke
callback,
doesn't
by the
win
way.
it this Saturday, Shinsuke should be the one to take it off of Rollins.
Should be, yes. But it should have been Finn Balor. But
well, that's the elephant in the room on this one. I don't know why I'm using that so much today, but I am.
there's a
I
lot of
just got
elephants
to make the
inside the
elephants.
rooms, inside the WWE locker room. There's a lot of
But yeah,
issues
Judgment
with
Day.
I have a lot of
just
issues with their booking. If you couldn't tell. It's like
really, you don't say.
it's like I might as well just have like a permanent frowny face whenever I'm talking about WWE booking.
Yeah, we'll put that emoji over here. I'll make sure I make an overlay or a logo where it's just a frowny face. We'll blow your face up, put a frown on it with some sad eyes, and we'll
If
just
we
like put it
ever,
over your
yeah, I was gonna say it's like you need that as my logo on the show here.
picture.
Or if we ever do get a Twitch channel or a Discord, add that as a emote.
Exactly.
Just the K7 frowny face.
Just sad sniper. Just we'll call it that. Sad sniper.
The annoyed and tired Kyle face. It's like, I am annoyed with their booking. I am tired of their crap, and I'm done with that good shit.
Okay, moving on to the next match.
Yep.
This may brighten you up a little bit. Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus in a steel cage.
When was the last time we had a women's steel cage match?
I don't know. The last one I can actually remember, I know
They've happened before, yeah.
Sasha was in it,
Who was it?
from what I remember. And I'm not counting Hell in a Cell. I think the last steel cage match would have been, I think, Sasha versus Charlotte.
Oh, let's see. Women's steel cage match. Becky Lynch versus Bailey. I see that one.
Oh, okay.
There
Okay,
was
okay.
one with Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch. So apparently it's a lot of Becky Lynch ones. Shayna
Well, Becky
Baszler
Lynch is
versus
probably
Io
the one that you
Shirai
can
in
really say is like
NXT.
tough enough. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that or Rhea would be available
Yep.
too, I'm sure. But
it feels like it hasn't happened in a while. Even so, yeah. It was back when Becky Lynch, it was Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss.
well, not to mention they definitely
Mhm.
didn't do it back when Trish was a
No.
regular.
Nope. Oh no, absolutely not. And it's like, you know what? I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I'm all for it. Like, get the women inside some of these more brutal matches. Hell, I'd love to see
if
an
they can
elimination
go and
chamber.
want to go.
Yeah. Yeah, bring them into an elimination chamber. Break out the Punjabi prison women's match. No, but no, it's like I like
Yeah, be serious.
I like the steel cage match. I think this if if they're allowed, keyword, if they're allowed to go all out, this could be a very good match.
To my recollection, have we ever seen Trish bleed from a match?
Probably, maybe in a match against China way back when, but not in recent memory.
Because I mean, just that sight alone would be worth the price of admission.
But the
To
other
see
question,
someone
is,
who,
would they let them bleed?
I mean,
Because you could have a steel cage match with no blood, and I know WWE is very adverse to blood, especially when it comes to the women's division. Like, if they get busted open the hard way, can't help that. But not,
right?
but
If there's a Nia Jax
mhm,
Becky scenario, what
yes,
can you do?
yes. So, but intentionally, I don't think it will happen. It's like you're not gonna see. I don't think you're gonna get like a blade or an intentional or like a blood pack or something like that. Like, I don't think we're gonna see that
I mean, I could
intentionally.
see the bleeding from the mouth thing.
Alright. I don't really count. I'm talking about actually coming down.
Oh no, 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 no! I don't.
Yeah, we
There
could get
is
it from the
no
mouth, but
person on the face of the globe
mhm,
that would okay anything sharp
yeah,
going near the face of Trish Stratus.
yeah,
All right,
it,
unless it's surgical,
mhm,
it's not happening.
yeah. So it's
And
like,
that's the beauty of it. She don't need surgical.
yeah,
So no, but if it was one of those things where it's like it looks like her mouth got busted open, bleeding from the lip, that sort of thing. She
yeah.
has to spit it out.
But yeah,
I'm cool with that.
mhm. But yeah, it's
Because then it'll show a sign of ferocity that we have never, never seen from Trish.
I hope we see something good. But the thing is, it's like, yeah, Trish is still athletic, but she isn't the Trish of old. And watching her matches, she has had. It does look like that she has needed some assistance, especially from the other person. Like, she can't carry a match by herself anymore, which is fine. That happens when you get older.
Well, it's also
But
been a while.
yes,
So,
exactly. So it's like, But out of all the women on the roster, Becky Lynch is one of the best ones that you could have in a match with her. I think so,
Yes.
especially if it's a steel cage match, because she's been in a few of them, as we've seen, which kind of surprised me with how many she's been in. It's like steel cage match, Becky Lynch versus whomever. Oh, well, like 1, 2,
Well, again, I mean,
Jesus. But
for lack of
yeah,
a better term, Becky is unbreakable.
yeah,
I mean, the only reason she's ever really been out for an extended period of time is because she decided to have a baby,
yeah,
not from injury,
yeah. It's just
not even from
yeah.
a broken nose. No, and they made T-shirts off that nonsense.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, yeah, if
Not
you're
the
gonna throw a woman in there,
not as good
you
T-shirt
make
as
sure it's
Cesaro
Becky.
though.
Well,
Cesaro, the foot cyborg.
seriously.
That's one of my favorite.
But
That's one
yeah,
of my favorite.
no, Becky is probably the best person you can get
Yeah,
in
yeah,
there,
absolutely.
with the current roster.
And also the Becky versus Bailey versus Becky Lynch match from it was at Raw 30, but it was I'm looking at some of like the stat sheets here. It was the first women's cage match in 19 years. So there was one before in 2004 where Lita was against Victoria. So that's how far back we're
Oh
going.
yeah, no, Victoria could definitely go in a cage
Oh yeah.
match.
So could Lita. The like the
Well, I mean,
those two are custom or like tailor made for a steel cage match.
Victoria, yes. Lita, I would almost say is maybe a little too
What?
fragile. 'Cause, I mean, she does a lot of
Team
look.
Extreme
Lita can
Lita?
do a lot of like the flippy do moves and everything like that.
Team
But as far
Extreme
as like
Lita.
ground and pound in the cage,
God.
you would have been better off putting Molly Holly in there. Molly Holly would have
Oh
been
no,
better
Molly
for
Holly's
a
tough
cage
as
match.
nails. But no,
Yeah,
no. I think Lita would be perfectly fine. Lita was perfectly fine with us in regards to a steel cage match. Given it's like 2004 wasn't Team Extreme Lita, but given her background, I think Lita absolutely is custom or tailor made
well, no,
for it.
what 2004 was
That was, I think,
that
rated
wasn't
R.
her with Edge, was it?
Yes, that was rated R. Lita,
Okay, so that was she was fine having sex in the middle of the ring in a bed,
and she was
supposedly.
perfectly fine in a steel cage as well.
So
Why don't we
versatile.
why don't we have a bed in a steel cage? How about that? Would that work for you?
Speaking speaking of versatile women, Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez for the
Ripley,
women's world title.
Ripley, squish, Ripley
Yeah, I hate to
smash.
say it, but Raquel may be the most physically imposing, but
Raquel ain't gonna beat mommy.
no, no, right too high.
She's not gonna beat your goth mom.
You want to talk about a squash? This is going to be a squash.
Yes,
And I hate to
or
say
it
that
should
because
be.
I'm sure Raquel
But
Rodriguez does
well,
great work.
I'm not gonna actually no. I retract my statement. It should not be a squash match because I hate squash matches on premium live event cards. But
the quotes.
But yeah, no, I don't like booking. I don't like booking squash matches on major shows like even better major shows like this one.
Yeah.
But it on a named title card on a named show, don't book squash matches. There, that makes sense. But yeah, so it's like I hope it's a
But
good
they'll do it.
match. I really do. But out of all the matches, yes, this could, given WWE crappy writing, it could it could certainly end up being a squash match. But either way, Rhea Ripley should walk out with the title again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even here is the thing. Like
Ripley is
just
the
playing
leader
devil's
of Judgment Day
advocate,
without
if
question.
Raquel did win the belt,
Mm-hmm.
what would you do with her?
Nothing. Well, first you have the rematch, so maybe she'll win it and then drop it in the next show. Who knows? Which
Yeah, but then at that point, you're
honestly
just
I
spinning your
would not
wheels.
be too much against, but it's like it doesn't really make much sense storyline wise. It's just basically here's your next opponent, her. But
Yeah, that's
it's
essentially what it's going to be like.
it's a we need an opponent since you weren't since you weren't able to wrestle in in SummerSlam because of unfortunate injuries. So here we're just gonna throw Raquel Rodriguez in to feed you, to give you a match, to give you a title defense, blah 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 blah. And yeah, so the leader of Judgment Day should be walking out with the title.
Right. Speaking of Judgment Day,
Got another one of their matches. Yep.
we do have Finn Balor and Damian Priest trying to mend fences as they go up against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the undisputed tag team titles in a Steel City street fight.
Cool. Out of like most of the matches on this card, I think this one is probably the most 50-50 out of all of them. But it's like Owens and Zayn, I think are like aren't they like battling injury right now? So if you're
Well, I mean, Kevin just came back for one.
yeah,
Whether or not Sammy is, I don't
so it's
know.
like I don't know the backstage stuff.
I remember seeing that goiter on his elbow and
Yeah, so
everything.
it's like they could end up losing the belts, but then again, it's like there's still a storyline going with them in regards to the bloodline, I guess, sort of, kind of. But so it's like, do you keep the reign going, or do you give Balor and Priest the belts to make up for the nonsense that happened at SummerSlam? Because long-term storytelling creates this, I guess. But it's
I almost also wonder, will Dom be getting involved?
absolutely. Dom probably gets involved in the Ripley match.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
But no, you're
that's
gonna
almost
have them get involved
expected.
somehow. Ripley's gonna be there, and Dom's gonna be there at ringside. So it's
Right.
gonna be 4 versus 2. They may play the number game, or they may have a botched win or a botched match ending, like they did with Balor versus Rollins. They might end up pulling something like that again, because long-term storytelling, and that's good shit. So it's that is basically my term for WWE creative right now, because they've been
This
just
is why
doing.
we try not to harp on WWE too much, because we just know how Kyle feels.
I well, no, it's like I there's a lot of people in WWE that I absolutely love. I just it just feels like they have gone back to the awful Vince level Bruce Pritchard storytelling.
Well, I mean, one thing that I can say is definitely not in that realm that's happening at Payback. LA Knight
Mm-hmm.
versus The Miz.
Yes.
Now, Miz had a great promo this past Monday.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Like,
You have two
seriously, if
people
it
who
wasn't for
know
the
how to work a
haircut,
mic.
I wouldn't have thought.
You got two people who really know how to work a fight. Work a mic.
Work a mic towards a fight.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
But yeah, it's one of those things where if you want to talk about like old school versus new school, it's like LA Knight definitely has like that old school appeal. And the Miz again is just that good hand.
Miz.
You know, Miz can put on a great match when he wants to. And I want to believe that with the transition of LA Knight becoming like the next big thing, this should be an acceptable match.
Absolutely. And the Miz has become very good at getting people over. I think it's like I've been getting a lot more respect for the guy, because
He helped Logan Paul of all people.
yeah, he took an elbow drop from Snoop Dogg, and he did it well. Like he played that audible at WrestleMania so well. And
Yeah.
it's like he has come into the realm of respect from me. And it's like I think that yeah, exactly. It's like I've always thought that he's been very good on the mic for a long time, and he has put on some decently good matches. It's being able to put others over, being able to sell, being able to play a character really well that isn't just frowny face strong guy. It's I think that I think the Miz has become very, very good in what he does.
Respectable.
Exactly.
Plus, at the end of the day, we can't really say anything because he's the one that's got
Yeah.
the VH1 show
Yeah.
and the
And the
kids and Marie.
insanely gorgeous
He's
wife.
got Maurice. He's already
God.
winning far beyond
Jesus,
wrestling.
out of all the people, it's like, goodness gracious. But but like I said, if it's like if they're going to be pushing LA Knight, having him face the Miz, who can pull off the smarmy heel that you just want to punch in the face, and have the Miz put him over, I think that could work really well.
Right. Now, the only thing I will say to that is, after this, they better be putting a belt on my man. All right.
Would be nice, or yeah, just have him end up facing like Rollins or someone, or maybe for go after the Intercontinental title or something like that.
Yeah, LA Knight has been doing enough middling around. He
Yes.
already had like to do what he had to do with Bray Wyatt, as far back as that was earlier this
Mm-hmm.
year.
LA Knight
Put some respect on the man now.
LA Knight is what EC3 and Bobby Roode should have been in WWE.
Ooh, yes, yes. Credit to Bobby Roode. Glorious is still on my playlist,
It's one of my
but it's one of those things where,
it's my wrestler's intro in
yeah,
WWE 2K23.
but it is
Glorious.
one of those things where WWE sometimes knows a good thing when they have it, but they may go ahead and boof it all, for say like someone
For the
who's
sake of
maybe a little bit
BS,
more company friendly,
for the sake of that's good shit.
for the sake of Vince.
Yes.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
Vince goes ahead and gleams onto somebody else, they may forego that. Which,
Oh,
speaking
absolutely.
of
That's
people
how he
that
do.
Vince gleams onto, you do have Austin Theory trying to get his belt back from Rey Mysterio.
I hope Rey Mysterio wins. I am not an Austin Theory fan.
Yeah, like you know how I was saying that on the All Out card, how Luchasaurus and Darby Allin were going to be like, the throwaway match.
Yep.
That's what this should be.
Yes, it should be the bathroom match, bathroom break.
Yes.
But it's like, know how I've been speaking about a lot of people who are absolutely underrated. Austin Theory is the opposite. He is absurdly overrated.
But Vince likes him.
Yes, he does. And now that he is thoroughly in the owner's seat again, notice how during that interim where Vince was legit gone for a bit. Notice how Theory kind of trickled away, and things tended to improve with him not there in those
Well,
matches.
like we had talked about, back when we were talking about curses, when he
Hmm.
had the Money in the Bank briefcase and how he just completely botched using that.
Yep.
That was like the big start of the downfall.
Yep, absolutely. And that was basically when you didn't have the Vince Vice grip going on
Right.
creative. And yeah, you could
Personally,
say that Triple H is still in charge of it. The inklings are there. You sense the tendrils.
like personally, I would want Austin Theory to go away for a little bit,
Mhm.
and I want the way to come back. You have all the ingredients. They're just all dispersed and buried and not being utilized just because Gargano is on injury.
Mhm.
No. Gargano, Ciampa, Austin Theory, Dexter Loomis, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell. Those 6 people
Create a new faction?
alone, super faction, make the
Could be.
way happen.
Could be. That could
I want that to happen.
I
Holy
am
hell.
all for good faction warfare. I am
The simple
all
fact of
for
the
that.
matter is, the way had so much potential before Gargano went their ways, because anybody who knows the way, I mean, yeah, Austin Theory came and went and came back, and when he came back, he was a dummy still.
Mhm.
Um, but they had so much going for them. The fact that they still had Index, married. They still play up to that story.
Yeah,
We've seen
I was gonna.
Dexter and Indy
Yeah.
together since still. There's been no divorce.
Nope.
There's nothing but love there. Build on that. You just brought back Ciampa.
Mm-hmm.
And Ciampa, for as much as he was doing with the Miz, he is so much better with Gargano and DIY. Make it happen, and you will have gold that will bring back the indie lovers. Not just the
Mm-hmm.
hardcore WWE fans, but you will have the indie lovers coming back because they know these guys can go without the need of any exceptional storyline. They can just be themselves, they can be goofy, they can be Judgment Day, but on a brighter scale.
Mm-hmm.
They can be the
Absolutely.
bloodline, but with more of like a communal family rather than worrying about like, who's older or who's married to who.
Womp womp womp.
Plus, I just love Index. I am a stand for those two. I know it's storyline, but they are just so cute together. Whenever they lock eyes
Well,
and they're just like,
Indy's the cute one.
well, no, I mean Dexter has his appeal. I mean, it's a little bit more 1920s bully kind of boxing thing, but
No.
you
The
know,
1920s bully boxing was Aiden English and Simon Gotch.
yes, fine, well done.
You want to talk
But
1920s?
but he has the facial hair, all right. He's got
Fine.
the mustache.
Mustache.
He just happens to carry around a hatchet.
Where's JD Walker when you need him? He has the curl mustache too.
That's a whole other channel. But yeah, make the way happen, people. Write to your governor and tell them that you want the way to come your way. All right.
Speaking of getting your no. You know what? I completely flubbed that transition, so I'm just gonna dive right into it. By the way, look at the ticker below. Check out what we got for
Oh
MMA.
yes,
We got
yes, we do have to talk about this, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely flubbed
Now,
that transition,
folks,
so we're just gonna dive right in.
yes. While we are talking about wrestling, we also do other things here on Stream Punk Combat. One of those things is we do talk about MMA. And in our first collaboration, we are actually helping a pretty much premier MMA event happening September 23rd at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It is called Danger Zone. And you can go ahead and you can watch Danger Zone that evening for like $10. If you are an MMA fan, if you are a combat sports fan, definitely go ahead and check out moment.co/danger zone, or you can use the QR code that's right above here. Go ahead and click on that, and you will get a discount on your ticket for that evening. You'll be able to watch it right from your home. It'll be a bunch of spectacular independent fighters. And if you're the kind of people like us that do relish the idea of blood but will still watch it, it's perfect for you. If you want a break from wrestling, go ahead and check out Danger Zone. Again, September 23rd, we offer a discount for the tickets. Use the discount code DANGER10, or you can just go to the link in the QR code above me, and you can get it from yourself there. And yeah, we will definitely be able to find our way over to that too, so you'll probably be able to watch with us, if not all of us, it's some of us. And it will be a fun time because hopefully that will lead to other events to come.
Absolutely. And yeah, if we do
In
end
fact,
up
we even got an "Oh nice" from somebody, Christopher.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is "Oh nice."
Mm-hmm.
So definitely go ahead, go to the site, go to the QR code, go wherever you have to. We will be promoting this all the way up to there. So definitely tell your friends if they need the QR code, if they need the link, tell them to come by here. Follow the channel, like some of our stuff, and you'll see the link easily. It's not too hard to find.
Yep. Full night of MMA matches brought to you for just 10 bucks.
That's a wrestling reference.
September 23rd.
Yes.
At 7 p.m.
But for that, I think we've gone a little long in the tooth here. There was a lot to catch up on. There's a lot of wrestling coming on this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, if you do go ahead and check out any of the pay-per-views, let us know what your thoughts were. What were your favorite matches? What were your squashes? Did you miss CM Punk, or did you like CM Punk being there? Depending on whether or not things go his way in the next few days.
Or do you want to throw him off a cliff, as a certain individual probably does?
like Jeff does. Yeah,
Yes, exactly. So it's
Chris doesn't have any inkling, but Jeff
absolutely. So and
apparently definitely
also
has.
tell us your picks for Payback. Tell us your picks for All In. I
Yes,
absolutely
maybe you guys will probably
mhm,
do better than we did for sure.
absolutely.
Well,
Exact. Yep.
definitely better than I did.
Post your picks down in chat. If you do, we will hopefully no, we will see them, and we will absolutely compare them to the ones that we make. And if you win, hey, maybe there'll be a little prize in there for you in terms of either creating a new nickname for us for a show or whatever. We'll figure something. Something
Right.
we'll figure out a nice incentive for it. So, if you want to change
But
Dayveon's nickname, this is your way to do it.
no. Only I get to mess around with Davion and his nickname. All right. You can mess around with mine. You can mess around with Sniper over here, but nobody messes with Dave but me. All right. I claim ownership,
Wait,
and I can say that now, but he's not here. What, Kyle?
nothing. But yes, so as we said,
Oh wait, no. Okay, well, no. Okay, let me rephrase the claiming ownership thing. Uh, pause.
pause, scratch that,
Um,
reverse it.
yeah.
But yeah, I heard a record scratch on that one. But yes, so but yeah,
On that
absolutely
note,
tell us your predictions and whatnot in chat. We'll figure out a nice fun prize, nice fun incentive, and if you do, we'll definitely announce them on the show. We will absolutely post them on the show. That way, you can compare and contrast yourself to any others that may post it. And yeah, as mentioned before, check out the Danger Zone link down below. Get involved with that. Enjoy it. It's only 10 whole dollary dues, and tell us what you think. We love feedback. Feedback. Tell us what you like, and we will address it. We will interact with it. We will talk about it.
yeah, for as much as we do enjoy you guys coming in on the show, we'd love to hear about you outside of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, let us know what your favorite beers are that you drink when you're watching this stuff. Me personally, when I was watching All In this weekend, I had myself a vanilla old fashioned and a Sam Seasonal. And what I think was a Jello vodka thing. It was in like a syringe.
You were at Dave and
There is a
Buster's, weren't you?
picture of it.
You
Huh?
were at Dave and Buster's, weren't you?
Yes,
Right. Yeah,
because that was one of the only places that showed
I
it.
was just drinking cherry whiskey or cherry bourbon right out of the bottle. So, and honestly, I didn't need to. If I was watching a WWE show, I probably would have finished at least half the bottle. So just to dull the pain. But no, AEW All In, fantastic show. Next week we will absolutely post the we'll absolutely post our prediction results next week. And yes, absolutely.
That's
Congratulations
fine.
for
Whatever
3 years
soda.
sober. That is awesome. That is
Yes.
awesome.
Okay, let us know what sodas you drink.
Mm-hmm.
Me, if I had to pick,
Your favorite show
it would
snack.
probably be a mixture of vanilla Coke and Dr. Pepper because I need to stay away from some of these.
Yeah. Yeah, for me I'm in terms of soda, anything black cherry. Love me some cherry soda, love me some grape soda, love me some orange soda. I like fruit flavored sodas. Ooh, Brewdog Hazy Jane IPA. All right. Coca-Cola. Yes, we mean Coca-Cola, right? Yes. But yeah, so indeed. But yes, so
Yeah.
also let us know what your favorite show snacks are. I definitely want to
Right.
hear some good wrestling snacks. Like if you eat my personal favorite Luchables, which is Lunchables, but spelling corrected.
Wings. Gotta be wings. Real wings, bone in, slightly spicy or nice dry rub. None of that nugget, boneless BS. I don't care if it is
Boneless
more
wings are
meat.
chicken nuggets.
Yes. But anyway, all that aside, we have to end it tonight because I still have to have dinner. And now that I've
Speaking
talked
of
about
food,
wings, I am hungry. So, for the sniper Kyle Krieger and for myself, the real deal Ryan O'Regan, we are Jabronis United. Stay humble.